What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and we got Dr. Umar Johnson calling out Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin. Those two came to the defense of Jerry Jones. They came to his defense so fast that they received a lot of backlash from the black community because their position on athletes during the week that looked like them and how quick they were to jump into something that Jerry Jones is a part of. And this, like, a lot of this was before they were born. And so you got these guys jumping in and defending something they don't even know about. And I think that's one of the things that upset everybody. You can't read Jerry Jones' mind. You can't speak for him in this. He was there, and only he knows his intent. So why are y'all coming to bat so hard for this dude and you don't know what happened that day? So, and Jerry Jones, he's been proven time and time again that he was lying about not knowing about the event, not knowing the intent of everybody there that day, because something had happened 5 days prior at another school. So this was just par for the course. They was going around trying to prevent integration at all the schools in the area. So Jerry is just making it up, trying to act like it's such a long time ago in a distant memory. And even that is an attempt to minimize the event. So you remember I said Michael Irvin in an article said that Jerry Jones' face didn't look like he was there for battle in the picture. So he blew the picture up, looked at it, and said, oh yeah, he good, with his bias. You know, his biasness did that. And if you bias in a situation like that, it's okay to sit out. But no, he had to go out there. Stephen A. Smith had to go out there. And the other day, Stephen A. Smith said that he said that that's a lie, that those guys didn't know that they were out there. I thought he was about to say something good, and then he goes back and he says, but Jerry Jones is not lying, even though Jerry Jones is the one that said that statement. So who's lying? If you're saying that the intent of the people out there was to do harm, some of the people out there was to do harm, and you saying Jerry Jones isn't lying, Jerry Jones created that statement. So you see how he walked on eggshells not to offend him. But man, look, Dr. Umar Johnson got on these dudes. I'm going to play this. Check it out.
Let me ask Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin a question. Stephen A. Smith, you tore Kyrie Irving down. You walked it back after I got on that ass, but you still tore him down. You tore him down. Yes, you did. And according to Stephen A. Smith, because Jerry Jones was 14 years old at the time of his racist act, according to unlicensed defense attorney for white celebrities Stephen A. Smith, according to unlicensed defense attorney for white celebrities Stephen A. Smith, according to unlicensed defense attorney for white celebrities Stephen A. Smith Esquire, according to Stephen A. Smith Esquire, since Jerry Jones was only 14, he's supposed to get a pass. Because according to Stephen A. Smith Esquire, there's a statute on limitations for being held accountable for racism against black people. According to Stephen A. Smith Esquire, there's a statute of limitations on white people for committing acts of racism against black people. Stephen A. says since he was only 14, Stephen A. says since he was only 14. Stephen A. says since he was only 14 and it was 65 years ago, he should not be questioned. Stephen A. Smith said full immunity for Old Crusty. Stephen A. Smith Esquire said full immunity for Old Crusty. And because he was 14 and because it was 65 years ago, Stephen A. Smith says I don't appreciate this for Jerry Jones. He hurts for Jerry Jones. Stephen A. Smith feels bad for Jerry Jones. He don't feel bad because he never hired a black coach. He don't feel bad because he never took a stand up against racism. He don't feel bad because he's not doing nothing about the state of Texas passing a law making it illegal to teach black children about slavery or racism. He don't feel bad about that. He feels bad that black people would dare hold Old Krusty responsible for his role in preventing school desegregation in the state of Arkansas. And then we have to go to Michael Irvin. Now, where this buffoon came from, and see, I was a Michael Irvin fan. I was not a Cowboys fan. I was a Michael Irvin fan. I was a Michael Irvin fan. And I don't know what it is with richly melanated black males. I don't know what it is with richly melanated black males, but the Michael Irvins, the Shaquille Uncles Sambo O'Neal, the Shannon Snow Bunny Sharps. I don't know what it is about the darkest of African men that brings out the most buffoonery. What is it about the more melanated? The more melanated we are, the more buffoonery we like to get engaged in. So let me quote Michael Irvin. Let me quote Hall of Famer Michael Irvin, who said, quote, "I know him to be a righteous man and a very good man." Michael Irvin said, "I know Jerry Jones to be a righteous man and a very good man. I know Jerry Jones to be a righteous man and a very good man." This is what Michael Irvin said. Then he said, quote, "Everybody in the South was a certain way back in those days." This is Michael Irvin. Everybody in the South was a certain way back in those days. Everybody in the South was a certain way back in those days. So according to Michael Irvin, since most white people were racist in 67, according to Michael Irvin, since most white people were racist in 1967, Jerry Jones should get it passed. Michael Irvin, Esquire, Stephen A. Smith, Esquire. So Michael says, quote, so Michael Irvin in defense of old crusty Jerry Jones. Michael Irvin in defense of old crusty Jerry Jones says, his face don't look like he was there for battle. Michael Irvin is now a master psychologist who can read the intent of people by their facial expressions on pictures. I said, Michael Irvin Esquire, unlicensed defense attorney for Old Crusty, can now read facial expressions and interpret their purpose. Michael Irvin says, Jerry didn't look like the guy with the cigarette dude. He said Jerry Jones didn't have the cigarette in his mouth. He didn't look like the cigarette dude. Okay? See, when black men defend racism, when black men defend racism, when black men defend racism, we got a problem, brothers and sisters. When black men defend racism, Michael Irvin Esquire, you have no business speaking for Jerry Jones. Let Jerry Jones speak for himself. Stephen A. Smith Esquire, you have no business speaking for Jerry Jones. Let Jerry Jones speak for himself. You two Negroes are out of line.
Man, so what I will add to that is Dr. Umar has some good points. I think in this situation, both of those guys should have just let the grown man speak for himself. This thing is going to blow over eventually anyway, because let's face it, he's not going to be held to the fire the same way. He has billions of dollars. These types of things go away in America a lot of times. So just a picture from the 1950s. I mean, that's people that's mad right now is gonna watch the Dallas Cowboys Sunday or whenever they play again. So this ain't going nowhere. But I am glad he called them out, because they actually needed to hear that, with how much energy they have for everything else, specifically Stephen A's energy for Kyrie Irving, and then to turn around in like a month or two and have this level of defense for Jerry Jones is like the most backwards thing. I'm not sure if Michael Irvin said anything about Kyrie, because I don't watch the show every day because the topics get a little redundant and stuff, but I will see it every now and again. I'll catch certain segments. But Stephen A. Smith, he definitely need to be called on that, man, because people wasn't really listening as much when Kwame Brown and them was going at Stephen A. And they were talking about how he was placed there by the powers that be to tear down young black males, athletes that's trying to feed their families. But whenever you see something like this, you like, oh, that's what they was talking about. When you see that, because he'll cross lines that seem a little personal. He'll come off the field and just talk about their makeup. When you start talking about somebody's makeup, their DNA, and they're soft and all that. If you're gonna go that hard about that, which I have no problem with in professional sports, they getting paid, whatever, you can go hard. My thing is, make sure you go hard when something like this come out too. You ain't even having to go at who Jerry Jones is today. You could have just said, that's wrong. That picture right there is wrong, and leave no room for, leave no wiggle room for that being wrong. It's okay to say that was wrong in 1957. If you feel like he's changed in 2022, you wanted no parts of that. So I don't respect nobody like that, and that's why a lot of people are not respecting what they were saying in defense of Jerry Jones, man. But listen, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.